splashes it. Woo, look at that. Shot clock at 7, lining with the runner. Off the glass, the hoop with the holler.
LNKTV Sports and the American Rivers Conference present the American Rivers Conference Men's Basketball Championship. Today's game features the Cohawks of Coe College and your Nebraska Wesleyan University Prairie Wolves. This game is made possible by Lincoln Electric System. It's your electricity, own it. And Nebraska Wesleyan University, NWU. Now let's take you out to Snyder Arena with Brett Edwards and Jim Angeli.
Good evening and welcome inside of Snyder Arena here on the campus of Nebraska Wesleyan University as we get set for this exciting ARC Conference Tournament Championship game between the top seed Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves and number 2 seed Coe College Cohawks. Alongside Jim Angeli, I'm Brett Edwards. Nebraska Wesleyan enters this game tonight with an overall record of 23-3. Like I mentioned, they're the top seed, ranked 10th overall in the country. Coe, the 2 seed, they're 17-9. They've won 5 straight games entering tonight. Nebraska Wesleyan, though, Jim, should have the advantage, especially playing at their home court. They've won 2 straight of these conference tournament championship titles.
Well, that's the one thing, the experience factor, that postseason factor that Nebraska Wesleyan has going for it. And so this game against Coe is going to be difficult, though, because Nebraska Wesleyan is going to be playing out without one of its main guns. Nate Shimonitz is going to be out of the lineup for the Prairie Wolves. So the Prairie Wolves are going to have to figure out how are we going to replace 26 points after what happened on Thursday night against Simpson in about the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Shimonitz goes up for a layup, tweaks his hamstring, and now he's not going to be in the lineup this evening.
Yeah, a lot of experience on both sides of these teams. Let's take a look at how both of these teams got here in the ARC Conference Tournament. Both teams received a bye for being the number 1 and number 2 seeds. Nebraska Wesleyan victorious on their home court here Thursday night over Simpson College, 91-77. Coe played on their home court on Thursday night as well and demolished 6th seed Wartburg, 103-75. The winner of this game gets an automatic bid into the NCAA Division III National Tournament. Coe must win to get there. Nebraska Wesleyan, even with a loss, should likely qualify with an at-large bid. Speaking of that injury the other night, Nate Shimonitz, the 6'4" senior guard, Creighton Prep graduate from Omaha, right up the road. Last 2 minutes of that game, it was somewhat not necessarily over with. The game, it was still kind of close down the stretch, but Shimonitz went up for a layup right here in front of us and immediately grabbed that right hamstring, Jim, and that's a nasty injury to have.
Yeah, it is, especially at this time of the year. You just don't know how long it's going to take for a soft tissue injury like that to be able to heal. And so, Coach Wellman is doing the right thing. He's got to rest his All-American candidate, but that means other guys have to step up for the Prairie Wolves.
Yeah, Shimonitz likely going to be one of the top candidates for the American Rivers Conference Player of the Year. He averages almost 26 points per game. Who will step up in his place? Well, Cordell Gillingham will get his first career start at Nebraska Wesleyan, but one guy that's been on fire lately, Jim, has been Lincoln East grad Clay Reimers.
Yeah, the 6'7" post player from Lincoln East has been coming on at the right time of the year. He's recorded double-doubles in 4 of his last 5 games. He's been an absolute monster. He scored 19 points against Simpson the other night, and the nice thing is he's got those big, long arms, and so he gets out on that 3-2 zone, and he can create havoc for the Cohawks tonight.
Yeah, Clay Reimers, 6'7", 19 points, 10 rebounds the other night, his 7th double-double of the season. As we look on the other side of the ball, Jim, Coe College has a guy that's pretty darn good himself, and that'd be Adam McDermott.
Yeah, he is a second-team All-ARC Conference player from a year ago, averaging 13.7 points a game coming into this contest. He's their leader, but Nebraska Wesleyan, during the 2 previous games during the regular season, held him to 7 points and 6 points, so they've held him in check. But I guarantee you, with the Cohawks looking at that lineup, Shimonitz not being able to play tonight, they're going to be licking their chops, ready to go, and hey, win and you are in. That is exactly what Coach Brian Martin is telling his Cohawks in the locker room right now.
Just win, baby. That's what it comes down to here in the postseason. It's going to be an exciting battle. Both of these matchups were decided by 6 points, 84-78 and 82-76. So do the math, Jim. What's your prediction on the score? It has to be 83-77, right?
It probably has to be 83-77. I do expect another close ball game because, one of the things that even with Shimonitz being out, the Cohawks don't know exactly what Nebraska Wesleyan is going to do. What do they look like with Cordell Gillingham in the starting lineup? We expect Austin Hall to play a bigger role coming off the bench for the Prairie Wolves. So, Dale Wellman knows exactly what he needs to do at this time of the year, having been in the postseason 3 straight years, being in this conference final 3 straight years. So this is going to be interesting, and then the home court advantage for the Prairie Wolves is big tonight too.
Nebraska Wesleyan 13-0 at home this season. They've won 27 straight against American River Conference opponents. They got a good home court cooking here. We'll see if it takes to their liking tonight as Nebraska Wesleyan gets set to tip off here against Coe College in the championship game of the ARC Conference Tournament. We'll have the tip-off coming up here in just a couple moments.
When you're out to make a difference in the world, begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences, designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University, NWU.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Welcome back inside of Snyder Arena here on the campus of Nebraska Wesleyan University as we get set for this American Rivers Conference Tournament Championship game between Nebraska Wesleyan and Coe College. The Prairie Wolves ranked 10th in the country. They're 23-3 on the season. They're the number 1 seed. Coe is the number 2 seed. Jim, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups in this game. Cordell Gillingham getting his first career start at Nebraska Wesleyan. Of course, he transferred from Concordia University just up the road in Seward. Again, no Nate Shimonitz in the starting lineup.
Right, so that means Gillingham's averaging 5 points a game. Shimonitz at 26 points a game. So, hey, but Cordell is a senior. He's waited for this opportunity, and I think he's going to respond. And just, you look at Hiller, he's got experience. Nate Baugh, another senior. Dylan Dirks is an outstanding post player. And, of course, we talked about Reimers in the pregame, how he's just been gathering double-doubles the last 4 out of 5 games.
Jack Hiller made 4 3-pointers in that win over Simpson the other night, 18 points. On the other side, Coe College, they've entered tonight with 5 straight wins. They have 4 senior starters, and it all starts with Adam McDermott, who is the nephew of Creighton men's basketball coach Greg McDermott.
I'll tell you, another guy who's really good is the point guard, Josh Schmidt. He makes things go. He's averaging about 9.8 points per game, but he's got over 100 assists, and he leads that team in steals. The other guy to keep an eye on is number 34, Austin Roth, the 6'6" senior forward out of Hudson, Iowa. He scored 27 points against Nebraska Wesleyan during their meeting in January.
Absolutely. As we try to take a look at the head coaches here, Dale Wellman, Nebraska Wesleyan's head coach, earned his 200th career victory with that win on Thursday night over Simpson. He has 133 wins here at Nebraska Wesleyan alone. He's a 2-time National Coach of the Year, 4 straight regular season conference titles. Wesleyan going for their 3rd straight tournament championship title. And on the other side, Brian Martin, the head coach of Coe, in his 8th season. His career record at Coe, 102 102.
But this is his best season, 17-9, tops their 16-10 performance from a couple of years ago. He's got him going in the right direction.
And we are underway here inside of Snyder Arena as Clay Reimers and Nebraska Wesleyan win the opening tip. That's Nate Baugh, who will handle a majority of the point guard duties for the Prairie Wolves with Nate Shimonitz out. Here's Hiller, the senior from Olathe, Kansas, over to Dylan Dirks on the drive. The lefty goes up off the glass. It's off the mark, and there's Cordell Gillingham making his presence known on the glass early.
And that's one of the key factors for Nebraska Wesleyan. Dale Wellman likes to have those guys get those offensive rebounds, get those second chance points.
A little bit of a slow start for Wesleyan on that win over Simpson on Thursday night. Let's see if they can get off to a faster start tonight as Reimers finds Hiller, kind of throws one up off balance. It's off the mark, and McDermott brings it down the other way.
Yeah, Reimers in the paint right there. Probably should have went up with that shot. Now we'll see what Co does here on offense.
Here's that patented 3-2 zone defensively for the Prairie Wolves, trying to give McDermott out there on the top of the key all sorts of fits, try to keep the ball out of his hands as much as they can.
Gillingham up at the top of that 3-2 zone, too.
What they do such a good job in that 3-2 is extending the ball out, too.
Yes, they do. They do a good job of covering and closing in on their three-point shooters.
Roth's first shot attempt of the night is off the mark, and we're still scoreless here just over a minute into the ball game. Again, Cordell Gillingham getting the start for Nate Shimonitz, who has a hamstring injury suffered in the last couple minutes of that win on Thursday night. Gillingham going to take his first shot of the night, a three-pointer from straight away, and it's good.
A little bit more deliberate on offense for the Prairie Wolves there, but Gillingham coming to the top of the key, saw it opening, pops the shot. Good job.
Jim, how good is that for his confidence to get that first shot knocked down?
That is huge because, you know, he's a senior. He's waited a long time for this opportunity to get his first career start at Nebraska Wesleyan.
Toe trying to answer on the other end. Roth looks opposite to McDermott, straight from the three there in the corner. It's off the mark, and Baugh with the board coming the other way. Wesleyan trying to set up a half-court offense here. It'll be interesting to see how they operate without Shimonitz. He's so good at dishing the ball and obviously scoring. Here's Dirks. He'll let one fly. It's off the back iron, and McDermott corrals the rebound for Coe coming the other way.
Yeah, Baugh almost got his hand in there, was able to take it away from him.
Roth with a nice look to a wide open Jacob Robertson for an easy two. Robertson, he has 42 made three-pointers on the year, but he'll take that two, and it's a one-point game.
Nice job of cutting to the basket, and for the big man, Roth, to find him coming down the middle of the lane.
Baugh will let fly, and that one's good. So Nate Baugh gets on the board with a three of his own.
Yeah, he's one of the guys we talked about in the pregame. He's going to have to step up, averaging 10.2 points per game. He's going to need to look for his shot tonight.
Roth working on Reimers down low. He'll find Josh Schmidt in the opposite corner. That one's off the mark. Oh, it actually bounces in.
He got the shooter's roll. I'll tell you what, you're watching him on film, he is a good heady ball player. He's not afraid to take his shot, and he'll also dribble, penetrate, and pass.
Guess I should wait a second before I call that one, right, Jim? It looked off the mark from our
It did. But sometimes shooters get that roll.
There's Cordell Gillingham knocking down another three. He has two in his first career start here at Nebraska Wesleyan. 6 points for the senior.
Yeah, and the student section is going wild for him.
Nate Shimonitz, one of his biggest cheerleaders, too, on the sideline. Schmidt with it at the top of the key, gets it to Roth. See how far they extend that out there, Jim. That's
yeah, almost to the center court circle.
There's Roth working on Dirks. He's able to take him with the left hand off the glass for two.
Did a nice job of putting that shoulder down and then protecting with that left side using the left hand.
Again, the two matchups between these two teams both decided by 6 points each, with Nebraska Wesleyan victorious in each of those ball games this season, so we expect another close game here tonight. That's where Reimers is dangerous, getting right there at the top of the key, and he lets one go. That's off the mark. But Nebraska Wesleyan aggressive on the offensive boards.
They closed down on Gillingham there, didn't they?
Hiller just a tad bit off. He came out of a shooting slump in that win over Simpson the other night, making the 4 3-pointers and had 18 points. And we have an offensive foul on Roth. That'll be his first foul. First foul called in the game.
Yeah, and Coach Martin is wondering about that one. He's like, how can that be a foul? An offensive foul. But
9-7, 15 and a half to go here in the first half of play. Nebraska Wesleyan with a 2-point lead. Dirks with it in the corner. Baugh lets one fly, and that one's off the mark too. McDermott with the rebound. Roth inside. Looks opposite, finds Robertson, and that one's off. Baugh with another rebound.
Coe is getting some open looks, but they're not knocking down that three-pointer.
Baugh gets a screen from Reimers, spins, and doesn't get the friendly home court roll there. Fast break opportunity for Coe. They'll slow it up and get set here in the half court. Roth getting a lot of touches early, and there's another kick out as Robertson's off the mark. They like to give Roth a lot of touches down here on offense.
They do. They want to get the ball in his hands, and he's really good at finding the open shooter. One thing that does help is Clay Reimers being out there. And like I said, that wingspan, he leads the conference in blocks. He's intimidating some of those shots. And
Dirks knocking it down. Nothing but net for Nebraska Wesleyan from beyond the arc. Great aggressive play as Baugh comes up with a steal, leaves it for Gillingham, and there's another quick two.
8 points already for Gillingham. What a start for the senior.
Can't ask for a better start. Filling in for the injured Nate Shimonitz. 14-7 Nebraska Wesleyan with the lead. Tommy Hook can't connect. Jack Hiller corrals the rebound, and Baugh will bring it up for Wesleyan. Baugh gives it another try, and that one's off. McDermott with the rebound. Can't fall behind too early if you're Coe, because Nebraska Wesleyan just too good offensively as Hiller gets his long hand in front of it. There's Gillingham coming up with it. He'll get another 2 points.
10 points.
Makes it a 9-point lead, and that leads Brian Martin to a quick timeout for Coe College after Nebraska Wesleyan extends their lead here to 9 points. And Jim, defense turns into offense for Nebraska Wesleyan there.
Well, and that's one of the things that Dale Wellman always preaches. He preaches that work on the defensive side of the court. He has talked numerous times this season about playing complete games, and he strives for his team to play 40 minutes of defense and offense, because he believes with that 3-2 zone, hey, we can get out, we can attack those passing lanes, and then we can definitely get out there and then score. And that's exactly what they want to do.
Cordell Gillingham, 4 of 4 from the floor already, 10 points. He has 10 of the 16 points. He's 1 point shy of his season high. How about that?
Well, like I said, Coe doesn't know exactly who Cordell Gillingham really is. He's just been a role player. But you know what? I mean, Dale Wellman is a smart coach. Obviously, 2-time coach of the year. He knows what he can do, and you put those guys in situations where they can be successful, and that's what Gillingham has done to start this ball game.
Gillingham to the bench. Austin Hall, another senior in, as well as Peyton Priest checking into the lineup for Nebraska Wesleyan. Schmidt with it. Coe down 9. Gets it to McDermott in the corner right in front of us. Back to Schmidt out at the top of the key. Schmidt lets one go. Reimers.
Nice rebound by Reimers. He battled 2 Cohawks for that rebound and came away with it.
We've been so accustomed over the last few years of seeing Shimonitz out there on the floor. It's difficult to see him sitting on the bench and not out there, as we have a loose ball, and it looks like a timeout called by Nebraska Wesleyan, so they'll maintain possession, and it's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. But Jim, Nate Shimonitz has been such a great player over the last 4 years for Dale Wellman and the Prairie Wolves here. Like you mentioned, an All-American candidate, could possibly be the Conference Player of the Year, and to see him in street clothes, it's kind of strange.
It absolutely is, but it's just one of those things that's a freak injury right there. Look at that. I mean, it's an easy layup, and he makes it, and then all of a sudden he grabs that back of that right leg, and he goes down. He's had some hamstring issues before during his career, so hopefully it's not too bad, and that they can get that treatment, get that rest, and be ready to go. And then, as we talked about too, winning would be important, because if they can host next week,
that means Nate gets to sleep in his own bed. He gets to stay in the trainer's room when he's going to class. When he's done going to class, he gets to go to the trainer's room and get that therapy all week long.
Yeah, Dale Wellman told me before the game that he's been receiving treatment 3 times a day, so that gives him an extra day if they don't have to travel. Nebraska Wesleyan will hopefully host next week, and they're going to call
an offensive foul, I believe.
Offensive foul on Baugh. That'll be his first.
Yep, he extended that arm a little bit, trying to clear himself, give himself a little bit of space.
So a win here tonight for Nebraska Wesleyan would...
as you can see right there, he cleared that left arm, and that was enough to give him that advantage.
Increase their chances of hosting the first and second round of the NCAA Division III National Tournament next weekend.
Correct, but if you win, you stay as one of the top 2 teams in the West region, and hopefully that should get you that right to host.
Josh Schmidt right in front of the Nebraska Wesleyan bench off the back iron from 3 in the corner, and Hiller with the board.
It's amazing. That corner's been open, but look how Reimers is able to get over there and close with that 6'7" frame.
It's one of the areas to attack that 3-2 zone. They've been trying to. They just haven't been able to knock those shots down. Reimers with a sweet crossover finds Austin Hall. He's unable to hit the reverse. They're going to call a foul flying in there. Was that?
That's Hall. Yep.
We'll call it on Hall.
Yep, loose ball foul on Austin Hall.
That'll be his first.
Tried to get that reverse layup, but he just couldn't get it to go, and he fell on that wrist that's all taped up, or that thumb, looks like.
He's already wearing a protective, looks like some tape, athletic tape on there to start. Hopefully he's okay and can shake it off. And they're going to call a foul on Peyton Priest. Coe will take it out right in front of Nebraska Wesleyan's bench there. Nebraska Wesleyan cannot afford any more injuries.
Well, or foul trouble, too, for that matter, too. I mean, Peyton's got to be smart right there. He's got the sideline. Use that as the extra defender. Just run side by side with that defender. No need to reach in and get that cheap foul.
Josh Schmidt with a lazy pass poked away, and here comes Hall. They're going to call a jump ball on that one, aren't they? And it'll be possession Coe.
Yep.
Interesting call there. Aggressive play on the fast break.
Yeah, Hall going right to the basket. He probably should have given the basketball up. I think he had ball over there.
Hey, Hiller with the steal, and hey, might as well shoot it. These guys are not afraid to shoot the long ball, as we know, Jim.
No, they're not.
Go with it here, trying to cut into this 9-point lead. That's another 3 that's off the mark for the Cohawks.
Yeah, Kaufman missing from that corner over there.
Coe just 1 of 8 from behind the arc so far in this game. It was Peyton Priest able to connect from behind the arc. It's good when you get a guy like Peyton Priest coming off the bench and be able to hit on a couple threes like that for sure.
Well, he's a guy who can definitely score some points for the Prairie Wolves. He's another one of those guys with a lot of experience. Sophomore out of Papillion, he shoots 41.5% from behind the three-point arc.
There's Roth inside. He's off the mark. Battle for the ball, and it's going to be long.
It's going to be off of Hall, I think, yes. Greg Hall trying to keep track of it there for the Cohawks, but it bounced off his knee and out of bounds, and so another opportunity on offense for the Prairie Wolves.
Nearly 10 minutes played here in the first half of action. It's 19-7, Nebraska Wesleyan with a 12-point lead. As Austin Hall walks the ball up. Gets it over to Gillingham, who has 10 points already. Dirks, the lefty, lets fly.
Just a little strong.
Schmidt leads the way for Coe. Their leading scorer, Adam McDermott, getting a breather right now.
Coe just 3 of 12 from the field so far in the first 10 minutes of this ball game.
Roth working down low. He'll kick it out. Three-point attempt up and good from TJ Kaufman, the senior from Lakewood, Illinois for Coe.
We've got to watch him. He can shoot that three ball. He's a 61% three-point shooter from behind the arc.
Peyton Priest already knocked down 1 3, unable to connect there, but Austin Hall with a nice offensive rebound, kicks it out. Cordell Gillingham, that one won't go. That one's going to be off Baugh, and that'll belong to Coe.
I thought Gillingham was going to have another 3 right there.
Hey, you might as well take your shot. You're hot. Already combined, we've had 23 3-point attempts just 11 minutes into this game.
It's amazing how the game has changed, and the three-point shot has become the dominant shot, where before you used to look to get the ball inside and work your way out. Now it's the opposite, outside and maybe look in if you get an opportunity to.
Roth again, left hand, no good, and they're going to call a foul on Baugh, and I believe that'll be his second. Little mismatch there in size. Roth for Coe, 6'6". Baugh, 6'3".
Yep, right here, moving, just a little bit of a hip check right there, and that is foul number 2 on Nate Baugh.
First one up and good from Austin Roth, 6'6" senior from Hudson, Iowa. Like you mentioned, Jim, he averages 15.6 points per game. He had 27 in one of the meetings against Nebraska Wesleyan this season and 16 in the other.
Yeah, he is a really good ball player. He's got that ability to put the ball down on the floor, and he can shoot it. 77% free throw shooter on the year.
He gets both of them to make it a 7-point game. Nebraska Wesleyan up 19-12.
Yep.
Extending that full court press here a little bit is Coe. Wesleyan able to break it. Saw some few sloppy passes from Nebraska Wesleyan the other night, so hopefully they've corrected that problem, and so far it's been pretty good. There's Connor Riekenberg into the lineup for Nebraska Wesleyan for the first time tonight. Hiller going to take a step back three, and lips in and out.
Gillingham.
It's like the putt I had on 18 today.
Gillingham with a nice rebound.
Except that putt was for double bogey.
Hey, as long as it goes in.
Yeah, Dirks gets it blocked, and it'll be Coe coming the other way. They have an opportunity here up ahead to McDermott.
And he slows it down instead of attacking the basket. He passes it back out, lets the Cohawks set back up.
Roth underneath, and he finds Jared Cruz for 2, and Dale Wellman's not happy. He'll call a timeout, and it is a full timeout, so we'll go ahead and step aside. 19-14, Nebraska Wesleyan with a 5-point lead.
When you're out to make a difference in the world, begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences. Designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University. NWU.
And now we're back. 7-0 run by the Cohawks. Dale Wellman calling that timeout. Probably going to talk about a few different things on offense as well here, but making sure we're looking at the stat line there for Clay Reimers. We talked about at the beginning of the game how important it's going to be. He's only taken one shot and missed it. No points, but 3 rebounds. So I would imagine Coach Wellman's going to want to start getting the big guy into the flow of the offense here. But, of course, we're going to be talking defense, I guarantee you, right now in that huddle to make sure that they can shut down this co-run, which has got that lead down from 19-7 to 19-14.
Absolutely. Clay Reimers right there, the Lincoln East grad, 6'7", senior. For the last 5 games, he's had a double-double. He has 7 of them on the year, including one the other night. 19 points and 10 rebounds in the win over Simpson in the semifinal. We're back to action here. 19-14, under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Nebraska Wesleyan with a 5-point lead, as you mentioned, Jim. 7-0 run for Coe. There's Dirks with it. Hands it off to Hiller. Hiller on the drive, goes up. And they're going to call an offensive foul. That's a charge on Jack Hiller.
I thought maybe the co-defender was inside the halo. Let's take a look right here.
Nope, he was outside of it just barely.
Oh, he was outside of it.
Barely.
That's Niemeyer taking the charge, stepping in there and doing a good job of staying still. 5 fouls to 1. The Prairie Wolves with their 5th foul.
Crowd starting to make some noise here for the home team, Nebraska Wesleyan, and there's a 3-pointer right in front of us from Zach Niemeyer. All of a sudden, it's a 2-point game.
Yep, that 10-0 run. And the Cohawks going with the zone.
Connor Riekenberg picks up his dribble, gets it to Reimers. That ball's tipped, corralled by Gillingham, and now Riekenberg. And there's
Nice
Reimers'
pass.
nice play, and they're going to get a chance for a three-point play. What a great execution there, Jim.
Gillingham just doing a nice job, staying patient, looking for the cutter. Reimers coming in hard from the wing. Beautiful bounce pass for the easy assist and basket.
Yeah, and that gets Reimers his first 2 points of the game, and hopefully gets his confidence going a little bit here and get to the line and have a chance for a three-point play. And he's able to knock it down and give Wesleyan a 5-point lead.
Good answer to stop that 10-0 run.
Much needed points for Wesleyan. There's Roth with it. Finds McDermott. McDermott gonna take his shot at a three, and it's off, and Hiller with the nice rebound there defensively.
Wesleyan doing a good job on those defensive boards, keeping Co away from those second chance opportunities.
Reimers with it out here at the top of the key. Goes in, tries to go inside to Hiller, and it's poked away, and another careless turnover there for Wesleyan. And right back at you. Returning the favor.
That was a bullet right into the other student section.
I was going to say, one of those students was wide open, but too bad he's not on the court.
Yeah, he just couldn't bend over far enough to catch it down there at that first level.
Wesleyan been kind of quiet offensively here in the last few minutes. Let's see if they get a lot of times Wesleyan will be a close game, and the next thing you know, they look up and it's a 10-point lead for Nebraska Wesleyan. So they can turn it on in a hurry.
Well, the Prairie Wolves are being much more patient on offense with the shot clock.
Reimers able to hit a tray from straight away for Nebraska Wesleyan, and it's 25-17.
And all of a sudden, he's got 6 points.
Starting to heat up. Lincoln East grad started his career at Concordia University up in Seward before transferring here to Lincoln, and he pokes it away, gets a steal, and there you go, Mr. Do-It-All, Clayton Reimers. Baugh going to take it all the way, spin move, uses the right hand off the glass, just a little too strong, but there's Gillingham with the board and the putback. And that's a career high for Cordell Gillingham now with 12 points, and wow, you couldn't ask for a better start for him.
5 for 6 from the field already. I mean, he is just playing very well. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game here for Cordell Gillingham.
Yeah, he's got 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's originally from Greeley, Colorado, and you know, Jim, hey, without Shimonitz, we knew somebody had to step up, and he's done just that.
Yeah. He's just done really well. He's another, like you said, transfer from Concordia, so he's got some experience, and he's been a part of this program. The last 3 years, he knows exactly what it's like. And sometimes you just need to get an opportunity to present itself, and he's taken full advantage of it.
Dale Wellman has to like what he's seen so far out of the senior from Greeley, Colorado. 27-17, 10-point lead for the Prairie Wolves. 5:07 to go before halftime. Josh Schmidt with it at the top of the key for the Cohawks. Roth gets another touch, and he's unguarded and easy too. Dale Wellman not happy with that one.
Well, he just found the crack in the defense. Reimers didn't necessarily step up in there because he's got to guard that corner, and Roth does a nice job of taking it right to the basket.
Baugh with the spin move, goes over the right hand. Can't connect, it'll stay here, poked out of bounds by Co. Another good turnout from the Nebraska Wesleyan student section. Always supportive they are here of their men's basketball team. Inbounds play to Dirks. 4.5 to go before half. Reimers on the drive, and he pulls up in the lane and gets the home-friendly roll for 2 to drop.
Nice job, though. He worked hard. Like you said, he got in the lane. He's got that height advantage. Just go right up and shoot it. You're in the paint, go for the shot.
Schmidt cross-court pass to the corner to McDermott. And we're going to have a foul called on Reimers.
Yep.
just his first. So again, Clayton Reimers picks up his first foul. Got to keep him out of foul trouble. So far, so good there. Schmidt to Hook. Guarded by Reimers. Robertson takes it up. Unable to get it to go, and there's Reimers redirecting that shot.
Absolutely. You know, he leads the conference in blocks, and he does a nice job of influencing that shot. Now he's trying to work in the low block, comes up high, and he's got an opportunity.
Dirks in the corner, and he's able to knock it down, Dylan Dirks.
But that's a nice job by a big man, understanding where he is. He was kind of bent over, awkward. He gathers the ball, finds the open man in the corner. That's good, just basketball IQ.
Schmidt way out to McDermott near half court. We approach the 3-minute mark. Roth again, he's been dangerous catching it right there. Gets it poked away by Baugh. Catches it over to McDermott, and McDermott able to knock down a three from the corner here.
Right before the shot clock expired. So that's McDermott. I think that's his first points.
You're correct. 3 points. The beauty of live stats in front of us on an iPad, Jim.
It makes us so much smarter, doesn't it?
Well, people at home don't know. We just remember all these things in our head.
That's right.
Nebraska Wesleyan inbounding it underneath their own hoop along the baseline. Here's Hiller. Behind the back. Fadeaway jumper. Short. Here comes Coe. Dermott pushes. 3-point up and good from TJ Kaufman. He's got a couple of those so far in this game.
Yeah, he's a good shooter. He can, like I said, 61% from behind the 3-point arc. He's not afraid to pull the trigger.
Cuts it to 7.
Yeah, he's now 29 of 46 on the year from behind the 3-point line.
Reimers is fouled. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Pretty aggressive foul there.
It's postseason. Didn't Dale Wellman say this is the most physical team in the conference?
He did say that before the game, absolutely, yep. That was an aggressive one. Well, Reimers misses the first one. And as you mentioned, Jim, Coe College playing for their postseason lives. They have to win this game in order to make it to the national tournament next weekend.
Absolutely, you're this close. I mean, you know, win and you are in at this time of the season. And this senior-dominated group is definitely going to give everything they can. If that means all 5 of their fouls to get to the NCAA championship, they're going to do that.
Reimers makes 1 of 2 to make it an 8-point lead for Nebraska Wesleyan. Just under 2 minutes to go. There's Kaufman with it. McDermott right back to Kaufman. McDermott left hand pull-up jumper from 15, short. Poked around, and Austin Hall with it. Here we go, 2-on-1. Gets it up to Jack Hiller, and we have another aggressive foul, and they're going to call it.
They're going to call that intentional.
This will be a flagrant foul, and he went up pretty hard there. Hiller, that one, it's going to be called on Kaufman. Take another look at this, Jim.
Yep, yeah, Kaufman coming across, and he gets that right arm up into the face of Hiller, and I think that's probably the main reason why, because he wasn't able to get directly to the basketball, which is what you look for as an official when you're talking about those intentional or those flagrant fouls.
Yeah, the referees getting together right now and discussing it. You see his arm and his elbow coming across Hiller's face there.
Yeah, if he goes up with his left hand, there's probably no foul, but he goes with that right and he catches Hiller in the face.
Hiller makes the first one. He'll get another shot, and Nebraska Wesleyan will maintain possession after this.
And this is the guy you don't want to foul. He's an 82% free throw shooter, so. I didn't jinx him.
Knocks them both down. No announcers jinx there. So that makes it a 9-point lead for the Prairie Wolves, and they get the ball, looking to make this a double-digit lead.
Yeah, so Hiller with his first 2 points of the night, usually averaging about 14.8 per game.
The good news about Nebraska Wesleyan is they have a lot of different weapons on offense that can score, so it can be anybody's night. Dirks finds Hiller off the curl, gets it back to Dirks. Nice handles there by Hiller, who finds Dirks in the corner. Can't connect, and Kaufman able to corral it. Here comes Coe down by 10.
Reimers was lucky he didn't pick up his second foul there. Tried to swat that ball away and tip it, but
no good off the glass there on the attempt from Jared Cruz. Sophomore out of Oskaloosa, Iowa.
yeah, Coe just 9 of 22 from the field.
Just about 30 seconds to go here before halftime. Austin Hall picks up his dribble, 10 to go on the shot clock. Hiller back to Hall. Hall on the drive, goes up wild. They're going to call a charge. Or did they call a blocking foul, Jim? They called a charge. They called a charge. The bucket went in. It was a wild one. He went high up off the glass. He made it, but they did call the charge.
Austin, I think, just trying to do a little bit too much right here.
We've seen a couple of those now.
Yeah, Kaufman stepping in.
He made it off the shot clock, Jim.
Yes, he did make it off, so it wouldn't have counted anyway because that's back behind the backcourt.
But if you're playing horse tomorrow with your sons, you can use that. You can try that one. Here. 10 seconds to go.
You can call that.
Before halftime. McDermott's shot is blocked by Reimers, who took one in a bad spot off that. But anyway, Hall loses it. Almost made another wild shot. But that's what we have. 20 minutes into the game here. It's halftime of the ARC Conference Tournament Championship game, and an entertaining first half as Nebraska Wesleyan heads to the locker room with a 10-point lead, 35-25. We'll rejoin you here after a few minutes for the second half of action.
When you're out to make a difference in the world, begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences. Designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University. NWU.
What powers Lincoln? Well, for starters, many of you. LES is a not-for-profit, customer-owned electric utility, a public power company proudly employing more than 500 community members. It doesn't get much more local than that. But how do our family members, friends, and neighbors deliver that highly reliable, entirely public power to our homes and businesses? It starts with generation, by way of coal-fired power plants, natural gas turbines, and innovative renewable energy sources like methane, water, wind, and even solar power. This balance of resources generates the energy that powers our everyday. Transmission lines act as electricity's trusted middleman. 300 miles of these high-voltage lines stream reliable power to substations throughout the Lincoln area. Substations decrease electricity's voltage, preparing it for distribution within a local region. Before delivery, voltage is decreased once more for safe usage in our homes and businesses. Our modern-day electrical grid allows LES to more accurately monitor demand, increase reliability, and keep costs low for the communities we serve. And now, the next time you plug in, tune in and charge up. Your connection will have a stronger tie to local communities that power one another. Stay current with all things LES, online and on social.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
You're watching Prairie Wolves basketball on LNK TV Sports and the Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network.
Welcome back inside of Snyder Arena here. It's halftime of this American Rivers Conference Tournament Championship game between Nebraska Wesleyan and Coe College. The Prairie Wolves with a 10-point lead at halftime. And Jim, as we take a look at the first half statistics, what stands out to you here on this graphic?
Well, I think the surprising thing is that Coe is actually out shooting Nebraska Wesleyan right now by just a couple of percentage points. But Nebraska Wesleyan does have that edge with those 7 3-pointers. And the nice thing is they're out rebounding the Cohawks right now. And Gillingham having the game of his life. His first career start at Nebraska Wesleyan, leads the team in scoring, and he's also tied for the team lead with 4 rebounds for the Prairie Wolves. So, you know, one of the things that I think looking at the stat sheet is the points off of turnovers as well. Here's a good look at Gillingham knocking down a 3, getting off to a good start. He hit his first 3 baskets. Nice layup here from a great pass from Nate Baugh. And, you know, it's just got to be so exciting for him to be able to get off to a good start like this.
Gillingham in the lineup because fellow senior Nate Shimonitz out with a hamstring injury. Gillingham 5 of 6 from the floor, 2 for 3 from behind the arc, 4 rebounds, 12 points, 2 assists. And if you look at Coe on the other side of the ball, they're down 10. You look at it on paper, it's really a lot closer a game than that. One thing they could probably do is try to get Austin Roth some more shot attempts. He's only 2 for 4 from the floor so far.
Right, and he's the leading scorer for the Cohawks, averaging about 15 points a game. So I'd imagine what Coach Martin is talking about at halftime is we've got to get the ball to Roth, and we've got to be able to get Adam McDermott more than 3 points as well. He's 1 for 5 from the field. Those are your 2 leading scorers. But that's a testament to Nebraska Wesleyan's defense. They've done a really good job with that zone, not allowing great open looks for Roth and for McDermott. So Wellman's got to be happy about that.
20 minutes away from crowning an American Rivers Conference Tournament champion here. The winner gets an automatic bid into the NCAA Division III National Tournament, which will start next weekend. We are underway here in the second half. Coe with the basketball. Robertson in the front court here. Gets it to Hook. They were trying to find Roth cutting there. Now McDermott. Shot clock winding down. Roth has to do something. Kicks it over to Hook in the corner, and that's blocked by Reimers, and then throwing off a Hook. What an athletic play by Clayton Reimers, the leading shot blocker in the conference.
That was just a beautiful job of having the presence of mind to not only block the ball, catch the ball, and then figure out while you're in mid-air to throw the ball off of your opponent to make sure that you can secure the basketball.
Heads up play there by the senior from Lincoln East, hometown kid. Look at this athleticism and just the wherewithal to not only block the shot. I mean, look at how far he comes in and blocks the shot and then able to throw it off of Hook. That's tough to get that shot over that stretched arm.
So he gets the block shot, he gets the rebound from that, and yeah, just go ahead and just do it all.
Just do it all right there. Ranks in the top 10 in the conference in several different categories. Here's Baugh. Takes it all the way himself, up off the glass with the right hand and good. So a good start.
That's a good start for Nate Baugh. He was 1 for 6 from the field with just 3 points in that first half, and he's taking it right to the hole, being aggressive.
12-point lead for Wesleyan. Here's McDermott with it. Just awful difficult against that 3-2 zone to get anything going. Roth catches it at the free throw line, looks to the corner. That's Schmidt, Josh Schmidt, the senior from Dubuque, Iowa, with a 3-pointer.
Now he's up to 6 points. 45% shooter from that 3-point range, so he can knock that down as well.
9-point lead for Wesleyan. Reimers with it in his usual spot there, high. They're going to get an alley-oop try from Gillingham to Reimers, and it's off, but there's going to be a foul. Reimer's unable to convert there.
Right, and I think that's going to be on Roth. That's going to be his second personal foul.
Reimers will go to the line to shoot 2. You're correct. That is 2 fouls on Roth. They almost had this executed pretty well here.
Yeah, they did. Just a little bit of a push there. And Roth is like, what'd I do?
First one up and good from Reimers. Back to a double-digit lead, 38-28. In and out on the second one. Boy, Reimers had a couple of back-to-back dunks the other night in that game, and then a swat shot that really had the crowd going. A couple plays, high-energy plays for Nebraska Wesleyan. He's fun to watch.
He is. He's, like I said at the beginning of the ball game, he's coming on at the right time. You want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season, and Clay Reimers is certainly doing that for the Prairie Wolves.
Roth over to McDermott. Schmidt to the corner. This is Robertson. He knocks it down, but hold on a second. Shot clock violation. Wow, good defense there by Nebraska Wesleyan. And that's 3 points taken off the board for Co that they desperately needed.
Yeah, here we're going to commend them for being patient, but hey, both officials who have an eye on that shot clock called it at the same time.
When you're on the road, you got to be aware of that. You don't have the home crowd counting it down for you as Baugh's three-point attempt is off, but great hustle by Gillingham to get a hand there and there and keep it alive. Here's Baugh on the drive up, and they're going to call a jump ball again, and possession's going to stay here with the Prairie Wolves.
That's Schmidt getting his hands on top of the ball.
Wesleyan will inbounds it. Gillingham gets it to Reimers. Baugh with it, working a little two-man game over there with Reimers. Reimers spins, fades away, off the mark. Here comes Co. Straight away, Schmidt inside to Roth, looks to the corner. That's Robertson, short. Reimers right there for the rebound.
But Roth had a little bit of room right there in the middle of the paint, and he opted to pass the ball out to the wing.
He does a great job of catching that ball and looking opposite, but he's one of your leading scorers. You got to get him some shot attempts coming up.
Yeah, I would think he would just start to turn and put his shoulder and go right down to the basket.
Does have the 2 fouls. Gillingham, Dirks. No good. Tip try by Baugh off too, and McDermott comes down. Co trailing by 10, up ahead to Schmidt. Running bank shot goes. Timeout, I believe, called by Co after the 2 points there to cut it to 8, and it's a full timeout, so we'll go ahead and step aside. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Nebraska Wesleyan has 9 offensive rebounds in this game. Co has 0, but when it comes to second chance points, Nebraska Wesleyan only has 4, so they're not necessarily converting those second chance opportunities.
Well, I know at halftime, Nebraska Wesleyan had 5 steals compared to Co with just 1, and then those points off of turnovers coming from those steals. Nebraska Wesleyan had a 9-6 edge, so there was a little bit of that cushion that we've kind of been looking for to try to figure out where this lead is coming from for Nebraska Wesleyan. I think that's one of those areas.
Local celebrity Lance Schwartz in the house. As you saw the bench points, Nebraska Wesleyan with a 11-3 lead in that area. Back underway, 16:20 to go here in the second half. 38-30 Nebraska Wesleyan with the lead. The winner gets an automatic bid into the NCAA Division III National Tournament, which will start next weekend as Dylan Dirks finds Clayton Reimers inside. He goes up off the glass for an easy 2.
That was a nice job of just getting the ball to the big man and letting the big man do his work down there on the low post.
Back to a 10-point lead.
I think Reimers was even surprised how open he was.
Sometimes that happens, yeah.
There's Roth again. No room to work. Now he's going to try.
And it just turns around and throws it up with the right hand, and it does not go.
Yeah, he's got about 3 or 4 inches of Baugh, but Nate Baugh's doing a great job in there.
Reimers catches it at his usual spot up there, looking to do some work. Almost lost it, corrals it. Dirks, left-handed drive. Doesn't get the roll, but Gillingham with another hustle play off the mark. Baugh up and count it, and the foul.
2 offensive rebounds for the Prairie Wolves right there. That cannot make the Cohawks coach, Brian Martin, very happy. They're not boxing out. The Wesleyan guys are following in from the wing, following their shot, going hard to the offensive glass. Look at this effort right here. Nice job by Baugh. Comes back down, gathers himself, puts it quickly back up with that right hand, and now he's trying to convert the three-point play.
And he does just that. 3-point play for the senior from Wood River, Nebraska, and it's 43-30 now. 13-point lead ties the largest lead of the ball game. McDermott gave a little short forearm shiver there to Dirks, no call. Save that for the NFL Combine that's going on this weekend in Indianapolis. And they're going to call Roth with the charge. That'll be his third. So Austin Roth picks up his third foul with 14:52 to go in the game, and their coach Brian Martin immediately goes to the bench and brings in Jared Cruz, the 6'5 sophomore.
But that was just another nice job by Gillingham. Gillingham giving up again, so much height to Roth here, but look at him, just stay right in front of him, take the shoulder, he had the position, offensive foul.
Gillingham doing a lot of the things that aren't going to show up in the stat sheet. A lot of hustle plays he's had, not just the stats that he is putting up. Reimers loses it. Josh Schmidt comes up with it. He's going all the way himself. And it's going to be a foul called on Gillingham, so Josh Schmidt will go to the line to shoot too. You see the Jim, the Hawaiian-themed student section here. I mean, the weather we had today in Lincoln, Nebraska, 65 or so degrees. Not too bad for Leap Day, February 29th. If it wasn't for leap year this year, today would be the start of March Madness.
Yes, it would be. So, you know, it's a perfect day to be in your shorts and your flip-flops.
Schmidt hits 1 of 2. Reimers saves it to Baugh. And quick turnaround or turnover there by Baugh.
Yeah, showing a little bit of pressure there, did Co.
Kaufman too hard. Reimers with another board.
Came out with a little trap right there after the missed free throw, and that kind of surprised Nebraska Wesleyan. But now Co falls back on defense.
I see him working the ball around the perimeter. Reimers gets it inside, goes to work, leaves it for Dirks, and there's an offensive charge on Dylan Dirks.
Yeah, just being a little too aggressive right there. Trying to go hard to the basket. And Jared Cruz doing a good job of getting set right here. Staying there, boom.
Good call, Jim.
Good call. Yeah, Jared Cruz saw Dirks coming the whole time.
Kaufman with a kick out to McDermott. Adam McDermott, leading scorer for Co, trying to get something going. Wesleyan coming back down the other way. Jack Hiller lets fly, and he drops it. Nothing but net. Largest lead of the ball game, 15 points now for the Prairie Wolves, 46-31.
After being 0 for 5 in the first half, Hiller happy to knock that 3 down. I'm surprised Co has not tried to speed the game up a little bit.
Josh Schmidt able to connect from the corner for a three-pointer, and it's 46-34 as back we go. Hiller, short.
Follows the shot. Look at that, another offensive rebound for the Prairie Wolves.
Good hustle there, Reimers to Baugh, and that's going to be a foul on Jared Cruz of Co. Fourth team foul so far in the second half here for Co. Nebraska Wesleyan with just 2. It's on the ground. It'll stay here underneath. Don't know what we're sorting out here between the referees, but looks like we're ready to go. Got to get this game over with so Jim can get home and watch Saturday Night Live. But you got the DVR set? Or you're good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
We'll make it there. No problem at all.
Another foul called here on Co. Looks like it'll be on the ground. That one goes to TJ Kaufman, and that'll be his second foul. 5th foul, so Wesleyan creeping up there, getting close to being in the bonus. Austin Hall drives, kicks to Dirks for 3, right in front of the Prairie Wolf bench, and he finally connects on a 3-pointer.
Nice job of dribble penetrating, and then the kick out by Hall for the assist. And back to a 15-point lead.
Dylan Dirks 3 for 7 from behind the arc so far in the game with 9 points. No good on the answer from Hook, but Kaufman up and good for 2.
I think that may be their first offensive rebound of the game.
.5 to go, 49-36, 13-point lead for Nebraska Wesleyan. The top seed in this conference tournament. Again, both teams received first-round byes. Co, the number 2 seed. They've won 5 straight entering this game. Reimer's doing work, and he'll go to the line to shoot, too. Sometimes good things happen when you just put your head down, put your shoulder down, and drive to the hoop. It gets you to the free throw line.
That's one of the things that Nebraska Wesleyan has always done all season. They have a tremendous advantage of being able to go to the basket and get multiple opportunities from the free throw line. It does. It's, you know, when you can score when the clock is stopped, that is always a good thing.
First one good from Reimers. Coming off that 19-point, 10-rebound performance in the semifinal win over Simpson the other night. And we have a timeout on the floor. 11:17 to go here. We'll step aside. We'll be right back.
When you're out to make a difference in the world, begin by exploring what inspires you at Nebraska Wesleyan University. The bridge between you and meaningful, unforgettable experiences. Designed from personal attention to internships to translate into success in your career and life. A place of powerful learning designed to explore you, discover you, propel you. Nebraska Wesleyan University. NWU.
Welcome back inside Snyder Arena as we listen to the Nebraska Wesleyan pep band firing up the crowd here. And 51-36, Prairie Wolves with the lead. And Jim, 11:17 to go here. What's going to be key down the stretch for Wesleyan to pull this out?
Well, as you said, you know, right before we went to the break, Co has 6 fouls. Nebraska Wesleyan, if they get into that bonus early with about 10 minutes to go in the half, I would think that's going to be a favorable matchup then in a favorable setting for the Prairie Wolves. Just keep getting to the free throw line, keep being aggressive, and just try to score when the clock is stopped. Put the pressure on Co. But I would think Co, as we talked a little bit about earlier, would want to speed this up a little bit because Nebraska Wesleyan's able to get back on defense, set up that 3-2 zone, and it's been stifling for Co. So I'm surprised that maybe we'll see a little bit more of a trap. We saw one trap right here early in the second half to see if maybe that defense will spark some offense for the Co-Hawks.
Obviously taking care of the ball important as well. 7 turnovers for Wesleyan, 9 in the game for Co. Robertson with it, gets it to Roth, who's back in the game with those 3 fouls. Cruz sees Reimers there. Ooh, nice move with the left hand up and under against Reimers.
Good job getting down into the paint, maneuvering a little bit, keeping the pivot foot down, and then going to the left hand after getting Reimers up in the air.
Baugh in the paint with it. Finds Reimers for an easy 2. Well, that doesn't get much easier than that.
No. Beautiful job of finding the open man. And, of course, Reimers has really picked it up here in that second half. 1 rebound away from his double-double.
Robertson
there it
unable
is.
to connect, and there it is. Yep, 8th double-double of the season, and now that's 5 of the last 7 games that he's had a double-double. So coming alive at the right time of the year. Impressive stretch of play by Clayton Reimers, the senior from right here in Lincoln, former East Spartan. Austin Hall.
That's
good.
Why
not? Let it go. Cox a little smack on his way down, and it's the largest lead of the game, 56-38.
I saw that. He had a little look for
And there we go, an unforced error by Tommy Hook. Throws it away. Here's your opportunity, Jim, for Nebraska Wesleyan to get this into the 20s and keep it there.
See if Wesleyan goes to Reimers right here. Nice ball screen.
Hiller a little wild on the shot. Hall with a nice pump fake. Out to Baugh from straight away. No good, and Co coming back down, trailing by 18. Under 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Cruz kicks it out to McDermott. True.
Nice rotation on that one. Nothing but the bottom of the net. He's got to get into a rhythm for the Cohawks.
Good offensive execution there. Leads to a nice wide open three-pointer from McDermott. Out of Robbins, Iowa, just right outside of Cedar Rapids. Went to Xavier High School. Dirks with a nice take. Dylan Dirks. Beautiful. Shawnee, Kansas, the senior, 2 points.
That was a beautiful shot.
(58-41). Reimers just disruptor. That's what he does, is disrupt shots in there.
Yeah, he's got that big, long wingspan, and it influences the shot, whether he gets a piece of it or not. They see those arms, they see those hands, and it's like it just throws them off.
Here he gets called for a travel. One of the negative plays he's done all game. Everything else has been pretty positive.
He's done pretty well, yeah.
8 minutes to go, 58-41. Roth out to McDermott. Can he heat up? Misses that one, and there's Reimers padding his stats with another board. Career high 14 rebounds last Saturday, 1 week ago on the Senior Day win over Loras. Baugh gonna pull up from 13 and knock it down. Pretty looking jumper.
Just a nice job coming off the ball screen, curls around, 1 step in front of the free throw line, easy shot.
Cruz to McDermott, picks up his dribble. Roth gonna let one fly from deep. That's way too strong. Loose ball corralled by Co. Josh Schmidt off the mark, and Reimers, there he goes again. Just a ho-hum.
He's just cleaning the glass.
We have a foul on Roth, and that is going to be Austin Roth's 4th foul. Probably not going to be happy with himself on that one. And they are going to pull him with those 4 fouls with 6:57 to go. Keep him in or you pull him out, Jim? Do you like Brian Martin's decision there with 4 fouls?
He's probably got to set him at least for another minute or two, talk to him and say, hey, you got to settle down. 6 points, only looks like about 2 rebounds, or just not a great performance. He does have 7 assists, so he's moving the ball well, but offensively, he's just not in any sort of rhythm where he feels comfortable shooting the ball. And he's such a big part of their offense, too.
20-point lead now for Nebraska Wesleyan. 61-41, under 7 minutes to go. Can they hold on and win their third straight ARC conference tournament title? Schmidt from deep, short. Offensive rebound belongs to Coe. Cruz, McDermott, Kaufman, no. Gillingham, yes. And he's fouled by McDermott. So Nebraska Wesleyan now in the bonus. They'll be shooting 1-1. 18 fouls on Coe.
McDermott probably doing the smart thing right there rather than giving up a possible easy layup or dunk, which would have set that student section on fire. So make Gillingham earn it at the free throw line.
First one up and good. Gives Gillingham 13 points on the night, adding to his career high. Again, making his first career start at Nebraska Wesleyan in replace of the injured Nate Shimonitz out with a hamstring injury. Able to knock down both of them and make it a 63-41 game with 6.5 to go.
Yep, his first 2 points of the second half. He's done a great job defensively too.
Oh, a lot of hustle plays.
Playing at the top of that zone. Great job.
Schmidt with the floater. It's off the mark, and coming off the bench to score his first 2 points of the ball game is Ray Thrapp. And I did not see if we have a full or a 30-second timeout here. And we do have a full timeout, so we'll step aside. We'll be right back. Wolves trying to win their third straight ARC conference tournament title. First year they got upset in the first round of joining the ARC, and then they've won it the last 2 years. And Jim, they're well on their way here if they can just close this out with a 20-point lead with just over 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, if you would have told me this was going to be a 20-point lead at this point in the ball game, I think Dale Wellman and all of the Prairie Wolves would have taken it because, you know, Nate Shimonitz, that's 26 points. How are they going to account for this? And, you know, I fully expected to come out here with their guns blazing, figuring this is our opportunity. And really and truly, the story of this game has been Nebraska Wesleyan's defense. Coe has never really been able to get into a rhythm. Now they're trying to trap a little bit.
Reimers to Dirks, and that'll do it right there. Way to beat the pressure.
Yeah, find the big guy, find Reimers. Reimers finds the cut and Dylan Dirks. Another, now it's up to 22.
Kaufman off. Ball with the board. Now you'd have to think Nebraska Wesleyan, you want to stay aggressive, but you also want to eat some of this shot clock every time you have the ball on offense.
Yep, and that's exactly what they did right there. I mean, you know, Bob being the senior slows it down. Okay, now let's get things set up. Let's get a good shot.
Peyton Priest between the legs, thought about it. Gillingham thinks about it and does it. Knocking it down again. What a special night for him.
17 points for the senior.
Roth, McDermott, Schmidt, Thrapp off the glass for 2. He's got 4 points off the bench. 5 minutes to go here in Lincoln. Reimers, Dirks right in front of us, and you betcha. 71-45, and you can start to, might want to start sharpening those scissors to cut down these nets. For Wesleyan, they've been used to cutting down nuts here the last few years.
They've done a really good job. Dirk's now with 16 points in the contest.
Another guy that's stepped up in the absence of Shimonitz.
Yeah, usually averages 9.5 points per game. Like I said, already at 16. We've got Reimers with 17, Gillingham with 17. Nate Baugh has 10 points. It's just the seniors are doing their job.
Next man up mentality.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's one of the things that when you've got seniors and you've got good leadership like that, you can go a little bit deeper with that and rely on your guys.
Dylan Dirks, the senior from Shawnee, Kansas, up and good on his first attempt from the free throw line.
Yeah, and I guarantee you there's no one happier than Nate Shimonitz right now on the bench.
Yeah, he's been watching him throughout the game. He's been the positive cheerleader over there, and there's a look at Shimonitz. He's been getting up and down, cheering and clapping. It's almost like, all right, hey, Nate, just sit there. We need you to rest that hamstring a little bit more. Thrap off the mark, and Bob with the rebound.
But when you go through all your practices with all these guys for the last 4 years and they've been your buddies, you can't help but be happy for them because you've been through so much.
Absolutely, and here's Gillingham off on that one. That one might have brought the house down and got Shimonitz out of his seat there. McDermott on the other end will let fly and miss. Thrap with the offensive rebound, gets it out to Roth. He's off, and Reimers pads his stats with another rebound. They're going to push it. Priest from deep. I don't know if Dale Wellman's going to like that shot. But
no. Dale sometimes has that notepad out there in front of him, but yeah, he didn't write anything down that time after that Priest shot.
So 17 points and 14 rebounds for Reimers. So Reimers ties his career high in rebounds, which he had a week ago on Senior Day in that win over Loris. First one short. Nate Baugh will go to the bench. Well-deserved round of applause for the senior from Wood River. Reimers gets the second one to go, and it's 74-45, under 3.5 to go here at Snyder Arena. Roth, that one poked away, going to stay here with Coe.
Ivan Morrow in the ball game now for the Cohawks as Coach Martin is starting to put in more guys from his bench.
Might see the benches start to empty up here pretty soon. Schmidt's shot hits the back iron, and Dirks with the rebound as we approach 3 minutes to play in this ball game. So Nebraska Wesleyan going to capture the American Rivers Conference title here more than likely, and for those seniors on the Coe bench, this is likely a lot of their last games playing competitive basketball. Gillingham adds another 2 points. Always tough to see this time of year, Jim, when one team has to lose.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Coe has done a fantastic job finishing second in the conference. You know, the the American Rivers Conference is a tough conference, and to be able to go through this gauntlet and finish second overall, and you know, we were expecting a good close ball game here, so it's a little bit surprising that Nebraska Wesleyan has made this look pretty easily.
Prairie Wolves led by 10 at halftime, 35-25, and they're going to hold Coe well below their season average offensively right now, just 48 points. Coe enters tonight averaging just over 81 points per game. So like you mentioned, Jim, defense has been the name of the game for the Prairie Wolves tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Coe has never gotten into a rhythm offensively.
And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Dale Wellman goes to the bench and brings in a new platoon, and that'll round of applause for Cordell Gillingham, Clayton Reimers, Dylan Dirks, Austin Hall, and others. Special moment, but if this holds, which it likely will, and We'll talk more about this as the last couple minutes unfold and during our post game, but if this holds, Nebraska Wesleyan should have a great shot at hosting the first and second round of the Division III National Tournament next weekend. So this isn't the last time, hopefully, that these fans will see these seniors play inside Snyder Arena.
Right, Nebraska Wesleyan, we do know that they've put in the bid for it, and it is. There's quite a bit of a process for the NCAA that you've got to fill out all that paperwork, and it's due sometime in like mid-February. So, Wesleyan always being proactive, always wanting to make sure that they're hosting events. Got a great facility here at Snyder Arena. And so one of the things that the NCAA knows what Nebraska Wesleyan can do to host. And so the big thing was that we talked about at the start of the game was winning this game so that you give yourself that opportunity. And, man, the Prairie Wolves have done it in convincing fashion.
And when it comes to hosting at the Division III level, a lot of it is done geographically with mileage. So Nebraska Wesleyan is ranked 10th in the country right now. They could move up. That announcement, the selection show, is Monday morning, I believe, around 11:30 a.m., sometime around there. So that's when we'll find out what seed Nebraska Wesleyan gets, if they're hosting or not, and who they're going to play.
Right, and looking at the West region rankings going into this contest, St. Thomas of Minnesota was number 1. Of course, they defeated Nebraska Wesleyan 82-63 back in Chicago on November 23rd. Wesleyan was second. St. John's, also out of that Minnesota conference, which Nebraska Wesleyan defeated earlier in the season, is at third. And then Whitworth out of California, Loras out of Iowa's 5th, Redlands in California 6th, Linfield of Oregon is 7th, and Pomona Pitzer out of California was the 8th seed going into the rankings this week. So Nebraska Wesleyan should have an opportunity, and depending upon what's happening between St. Thomas and St. John's in the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference final right now, Nebraska Wesleyan could end up the top seed if the Johnnies beat St. Thomas, because Nebraska Wesleyan holds the head-to-head victory over the St. John's Johnnies.
And St. Thomas, Jim, you and I did that game last year. That was the team that came in here and knocked off Nebraska Wesleyan in the second round right here inside of Snyder Arena.
Yeah, it ended Nebraska Wesleyan's big, long winning streak here at Snyder Arena. And so, I'm sure that Nebraska Wesleyan would like to get another shot at the Tommies somehow, somewhere.
Fans on their feet here inside of Snyder Arena as the clock hits zeros, and this is going to be a 76-50 win for Nebraska Wesleyan as they are your ARC Conference Tournament champions for the third straight year. Jim, what a great performance by them.
Absolutely, a fantastic defensive performance. Dale Wellman has talked about putting together a complete game, and I think when he goes in and breaks this film down with these guys, he's going to say, yes, defensively, we played a complete basketball game, guys. 40 minutes, good, solid, 3-2 zone, and I'm surprised by this result. I really expected Co to come out here and just give everything they got, die for every loose ball, and Wesleyan took control from the beginning.
Number 1 seed, Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves, with a 76-50 win over the number 2 seed, Co College Cohawks. Co ends its season 17-10, their record, and Nebraska Wesleyan improves to 24-3 overall. And I think this is kind of cool how the players, a lot of the students, and quite a few of those, I'm guessing, football players here for the Prairie Wolves going through the line as well and shaking hands. But, what can you say about Cordell Gillingham, a guy that, gets his first career start here at Nebraska Wesleyan, the transfer from Concordia University in Seward, and just balls out and, in place of Chimenez had a great night.
Just 19 points, just does everything that we needed him to do from the Prairie Wolf perspective. And then also, he played fantastic defense at the top of that 3-2 zone, which is what you need to do. And so one of the things that we've also learned right now is that St. John's has about a 16-point lead over St. Thomas in the finals of that Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Championship final. And there's only about 4 minutes left to go. And so, Nebraska Wesleyan has a good shot of being the number 1 seed in the West region. And hopefully we'll find out on Monday if they get a chance to stay at home.
Well, Terry Lang bringing out the ladder there as we're going to hopefully get to watch a couple of the Prairie Wolves here cut down the nets. And Jim, like I mentioned, this is kind of, they always have the scissors on hand. They've been accustomed to cutting down nets here at Nebraska Wesleyan with the success that they've had here the last few years under Dale Wellman.
Well, I know the biggest one that they want to cut down the net is that final one and match another one of those NCAA basketball championship banners from 2018. You know, and I think the one thing that you look at how Nebraska Wesleyan plays, you know, they've got another opportunity to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. You know, they know what they need to do every single night, and they come out and they execute that game plan. And I think that's one of the things that Coach Wellman has got to be thrilled about, because I'm sure he had a few butterflies trying to figure out, okay, I know we can do this, but how exactly are we going to do this without Nate Shimonitz? And those seniors responded. Great job by them.
It's difficult to look ahead and predict anything when it comes to the NCAA tournament, because obviously we won't know who Nebraska Wesleyan's opponent's going to be, where they're going to be playing. So, you know, we're going to have to wait, obviously, until Monday to hear about that. But, Jim, last week's loss at Simpson, 20-plus point blowout in Indianola to the Storm, turn around Thursday night in the semis and defeat Simpson handily. Was it good to maybe get that loss out of the way kind of this late in the season?
I think sometimes that does. I think, you know, that's an absolute wake-up call for some guys. And because, you know, Nebraska Wesleyan's been used to dominating, you know, the conference road as they've gone along here the last 3 seasons. And so to go over there to Simpson and have Simpson hand them that loss, I think that motivated this group, and to be able to go over there and pick up the conference championship trophy from Ira Zeff there. Nothing's better than that feeling of putting together a conference title, now going ahead into the postseason and figuring out if you can make another run and another national championship.
Hey, I tell you what, Jim, we're just 2 years removed from that national title from a couple years ago, and you know, what an exciting run that was. Is we're going to get the star of the game, Cordell Gillingham, going to come up here. He's walking up the steps to join us, and we'll just give us a second here, and we're going to get him a headset here. And Cordell, if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and put that on there. Hopefully, as long as you can hear out of one ear, that's all we need, right? and then we'll give you this here. So as long as you can.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. And then if you wouldn't mind just kind of getting in here a little bit, and then you'll be able to see us. So we're with the star of the game, Cordell Gillingham. If you want to go ahead and sit, actually. So Cordell, wow, what an amazing accomplishment. What an amazing night, victorious. Tell me what was going through your mind. First career start at Nebraska Wesleyan, replacing Nate Shimonitz.
You know what? Best teammates in the country. I can't really ask for anything more. And going into the game, they had all the confidence in the world in me. And I just wanted to do my role. And honestly, some of the shots fell tonight, and I'm just happy because they were looking for me all night.
Absolutely, and you guys came out with an aggressive mentality, and you know, kind of put this game not necessarily away early, but just kind of talk about different guys stepping up for this team without Nate on the floor.
Yeah, you know, Nate's incredible. I think he's personally the best player in the country, and our team is, you know, I think we're pretty deep, honestly, and it just shows that every game that we can come out and we can compete with the best of them.
Did you have any nerves coming out in this ball game? You're sitting there. I mean, you played Co. Both of those games during the regular season were 6 points. You know, you're coming into the starting lineup. What was that like in the locker room before you guys actually walked out here on the court? What did Coach Wellman tell you guys?
Yeah, you know, I mean, losing Nate, we knew that it was going to be a little bit of a challenge, but Coach Wellman actually said yesterday right before practice that, you know, Nate's hurt and we can't dwell on it. And he actually gave a really cool stat when Nate Shimonitz doesn't play that we're 13-0. So tonight we actually got to make it 14-0. And I'm just so happy for him. Nate's honestly the best player in the country in my eyes, and it's unfortunate he got hurt, but I knew that as a team that we could step up and we could all compete with Co, and Co's a really good team.
They are a really good team. Tell me about your job at the top of that 3-2 zone, because it really felt like Co never got into any sort of offensive rhythm. You guys did a good job of shutting them down.
Yeah, you know, coming in, I just knew my role is always to play hard, and that's what I wanted to do. And at that top of the zone, you got to bring a lot of energy, and I thought that's just all I wanted to do today was come in and be who I am every day in practice. and it just happened to work out for me today, and I'm seriously so blessed to play on such a great team.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Cordell. We appreciate you stopping up here, and good luck next weekend in the NCAA tournament.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Go cut down some nets. Good job, Cordell.
Get that scissors out. All right, Cordell Gillingham right there. What an impressive performance by the senior for Nebraska Wesleyan. He's going to go down and join his fellow teammates to cut down the nets. And Jim, again, we'll find out on Monday who Nebraska Wesleyan will be playing, if they'll be playing here or not, and all the details. But it's going to be an exciting time. March Madness is upon us.
Yeah, it is. And this is the fun time of the year. It really, really is. It's why you put in all that hard work, all that practice, all those weightlifting sessions during the summer conditioning season, to be able to cut down the nets. There's Thomas Robertson from Lincoln Pius. He's got to be looking forward to the future as well, thinking, next year when some of these guys, these seniors are going to be graduating, we get another opportunity, another wave of Prairie Wolves to be able to continue this tradition.
That'll do it for our coverage here on LNK TV. We do really appreciate you joining in. For all of our crew, I'm Brett Edwards alongside Jim Angeli. Boy, I tell you what, these guys, this crew does a great job putting these games on here in the Lincoln community, and we want to thank them for the fantastic job that they do, and we're privileged and fortunate to be a part of it, and to be able to cover this Nebraska Wesleyan team is a sure joy, and hopefully we get the chance to announce these games next weekend.
That'd be a blast. It was
sounds good.
Tonight. Yep.
You bet. Nebraska Wesleyan with a 76-50 victory over College tonight. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
This LNK TV Sports and Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network broadcast was made possible by Lincoln Electric System. It's your electricity, own it. And Nebraska Wesleyan University.